So this is just to provide an update on the overall progress of TOP. I don't have any financial or any disclosures, nor does Philip. So as you can see, we've made quite a bit of progress over this TOP journey. We've reached sort of the last quarter of our activities. We're at learning session 3. We've had a number of learning events, a lot of opportunity for teams to apply the learnings in between sessions. We recognize it's been a difficult and challenging time over the last several months, but I think from what we've heard today through the storyboards, you guys have been making really good progress, and it's really great to hear where everyone's at. So just an overall update on the collaborative portion itself. We have 11 teams enrolled, 15 psychiatrists and 2 family physicians, and a total of 71 participants. 45% of enrolled participants have been attending TOP events, with about 68% of enrolled psychiatrists. So we have seen that drop a bit over the last few months, and we recognize that that's been for a variety of reasons, such as staffing shortages and capacity limitations. Overall, the feedback we're receiving from the evaluations from the sessions, 84% agree or strongly agree that the session content enhanced participant knowledge. We're also happy to share that the educational video, which is intended to be a resource for teams and for clients that you're delivering care to, is almost complete. We'll be sharing that out on the listserv, and it'll be a communication tool that you can use in your sites. And there are plans to film a second video, again, as another educational resource, which will hopefully start very soon. We also want to share a bit of the progress that we're seeing with the data we collect from our evaluations. And so this is just something that we've asked at different points over the course of TOP, and that's understanding the level of confidence in treatment optimization of psychosis among participants. So we started off where, it was about an even split, with 33% feeling confident, 33% very confident, and 33% not confident at all. And then as we went into the fall and we're working on delivering the CME events, that started to shift up. And so once the CME series were done, we could see that there was an increase in people feeling far more confident at 85%, with the group of not feeling confident dropping down to 14%. So that's great to see for us, knowing that the CMEs really supported the learning and the confidence level among the participants. Again, continuing with the progress, our online course program is set to launch in the next week or so. And again, that's a online program or education course that's built off of the CME sessions that were delivered last year. So for other people that weren't part of TOP from the beginning, or other providers and clinicians at each site, that'll be made available and shared broadly for really anyone to be able to access that, and more information will follow on that. The Screen and Manage tool is in the process of being transferred into Paris. That was unfortunately delayed because of the shift with the pandemic over the late fall, early winter. So we are hoping to move things back on track very soon. We have a meeting coming up, I believe, early next week with the Paris team. So we'll provide an update on that once we connect with them. And then we've also developed a primary care and specialist resource pathway, which is going to be, again, shared broadly very soon. It's just being vetted through different senior leadership groups to ensure that it's endorsed by everyone that it includes in that pathway. And then from the team side of things, from the reports and the updates that we hear from the teams, what we're hearing is that there's continued ongoing work to define the population of focus and identify clients of interest. Teams are utilizing the Screen and Manage tool on population of focus to identify clients. And teams are also administering the PANS and rating scales. We're also hearing that teams are providing psychoeducation on clozapine to clients, reviewing caseloads to complete HONOS. And again, we also want to continue to recognize that time constraints are an ongoing challenge, and staffing shortages due to COVID and other reasons continue to be something we continue to hear and understand. So, I think, again, trying to find some time to do this work, understanding that maybe the full team won't be there for all of those meetings because of staffing shortages. So just trying your best to kind of work through what you have. And again, we heard that from teams today that are just continuing to meet, even though it may not be the full team, or trying to break it down or meet less frequency, whatever the case is. I think it's really great to hear that all teams are so committed to this work and are really focused on trying to move ahead with the plans and adapting as needed with your local context. I'm going to hand it over to Philip now, and he'll take us through the second half of this update.
Okay, just a quick reminder on what we're all aiming to do here and kind of what the top collaborative overall aim is. I'm just going to go right down to the bottom of the page there and just talk about by June 2022, what we're hoping to aim is for our participating teams to be able to identify their treatment-resistant schizophrenia clients and offer those clients clozapine. So we're hoping for 100% of the TRS clients to be at least offered clozapine. 90% of the clients who are eligible for clozapine start in the community and who accept the treatment to undergo titration in the community. And for us to see an improvement in their functioning. So the measurement here is 45% that are undergoing that clozapine treatment to see improvement in their functioning as assessed by the HONOS and the PANS. We are starting to get some initial data from the teams just around where you guys are at in terms of making some strides towards optimizing your clients' treatments. So just keep in mind that these are not like a rolling increase. These are per month, how many we're doing. So for depot injection started, we're starting to see an increase in the depot injection started last month, but went up to 6. And then for new clozapine starts as well, a little bit slower. We're getting a little bit slower at identifying the clients and then starting them. But we're starting to see on a monthly basis, some of these clozapine starts are starting to happen. And then this is just a measure of how we're doing, moving towards our goal of undergoing titration in the community. So as you can see, through September to December, we were slowly making some slow strides towards our goal of 90%. We've dropped off in January, but we've also become a little bit better at identifying clients. So I think that right now, that initial piece of doing a titration, which is identifying clients, is happening. Now our next push is to start to put things in motion to actually do that titration for those clients in the community. So just again, a bit of a visual as to how we're doing on our goal towards titrating in the community. As Valeria mentioned earlier, we're just in terms of timeline here, we're at learning session 3. We still have our education webinar in April, and then in May, we'll be having our closing Congress. So as you can see, we have had a lot of events behind us, and only a few left to go here as we move along with the collaborative. And then this is just a reminder of some of the things that we all have in terms of supports and tips as well for moving along with your team collaborative. So the regular meetings are really important. Continue with those regular meetings with your top team site, as well as having that coaching support. We're seeing teams are doing a really great job of having those regular meetings. So keeping that up is going to be really key. Our final learning session will be actually the closing Congress. Just want to make note to everybody that this is on May the 17th. So this date has changed. It was on the 24th, but we have moved it 1 week ahead to the 17th. And we're looking into whether or not there's any opportunity for an in-person meeting for that one. So we'll keep you posted on that one. As well, monthly reporting. So keeping up with your monthly reporting is really important, so we can give you feedback on how you're doing with your change ideas as well, so we can gather information about how we're all doing towards our stated goals for this collaborative. Up next for us, when we're going to see each other next, is going to be our monthly webinar, as I mentioned. So that's on April the 5th from 8:30 to 9:30. That's educational webinar number 4. And just remembering to keep up with the emailing on the listserv. We just really want to, it's a great place to share ideas, to have conversations, share information. So feel free to use the listserv for any of those moving forward as well. And this is just a reminder of the drivers and kind of change ideas diagram here. So just remembering that any of the changes that we're making, we can always link these up to secondary drivers, which are connected to these primary drivers, which relate to the changes that we're trying to make. This diagram is in your change package. So if you have any questions about how to use the driver diagram to drive your change ideas, feel free to check in with any member of the TOP collaborative team. And then just another reminder about our core measures that we're looking at right now. I'm just really toning in on the top 3 here as well, because this is kind of where we're at the moment. We're really working on identifying clients who might have concerns around adherence and looking at whether or not they would benefit from a depot injection. And again, as I was saying earlier, we're really focused right now on that identifying of clients with TRS and then making sure that we're offering those to clients, offering clozapine to those clients. And then once we offer, we're starting with the process of starting the clozapine in the community. Once we've kind of got those 3 things going, then the rest of the 3 kind of follow suit afterwards. So just kind of a reminder of where we're at right now and what we're kind of focusing on with our individual teams at the moment. And back to you, Valeria.
Yeah, and just a reminder, I put this in the chat, but we have mailed out hard copies of all the top documents to each team. So you'll have those coming to you in the coming days. There is a digital version on the website, but having that in a hard copy in person might help as well. So keep an eye out for those. And then I just wanted to point us back to the reporting platform. And we talked a little bit about this earlier in terms of, tracking our PDSAs and going back to look at that. The way our reporting platform is set up, when you submit every month, you can add those and you're able to print a report of all the PDSAs you've done so far. I mean, that goes with any aspect of the report. There's a core measure section where there's graphs as well that will track your data over time from what you've submitted. So there's some great built-in tools there and a lot of functions that you can look at using. And if you have any questions around that, don't hesitate to reach out. And then again, I think it's just really important that we acknowledge that, we all have this plan in our head of this linear line of, we're going to start here and go there, similar to the timeline graphic we just showed you. But the reality is, there's lots of things that happen along the way, both in the work itself and how you're working through, your aims and the drivers and the change ideas, but also in the environment that we're all working in with, restrictions shifting and all the different aspects of what's happened over the last little while here. So, just being mindful that that's all part of the process. We are here to help and support. Yes, the collaborative portion of this work does formally end in May, and some of us on our planning team may or may not still be around, but we're here now to support you. So use us, reach out. Darwin's available to join all your team meetings. He can meet with you guys in between. Jessica's also available for any clinical education areas. And then, Philip, myself, Harish, Angie, we're all here and available to help. So don't hesitate to reach out by email, phone, whatever's easiest. And then again, the listserv is really intended to be able to have group discussions with all the participants of TOP. So and thank you, Sarah, for sharing the tracking sheet on the listserv a few weeks ago. I think the Kamloops team really appreciated that and had some questions. So don't hesitate to send things out on there. That's what this work is all about. And we want to just really continue to build and strengthen our community of practice.